There are many guides and many different tactics of starting a business. Everyone will tell you his or her own experience with it. Someone will say do this or someone will say do that. You are expecting me to mention those tactics? Sorry boys, I'm gonna give you something of my own. And with this, I mean most universal thing in every business that you need to work on. Most people talk about starting a business like it's an easy thing. Let me tell you, only the starting is easy. Running and sustaining a business is tough. It's like going into a war. People start a business and don't really understand why is their business in that way or why are they not succeeding or something like what they should really focus on when starting and running a business. Many graduates and solopreneurs would have gone through this problem many times, not knowing exactly what they are dealing with. But don't worry, I got your back. I'll show you 5 aspects of business that every rookie, every newbie, and every solopreneur should look at. And before starting a new business or running your small business, remember these 5 aspects and plan your model and tasks accordingly. But before getting into our today's episode, let's meet our sponsors, the GX Smartwatch by Hyperstack. Just as I talk about innovation, Hyperstack has come up with a new and advanced smartwatch with healthcare functions, which is most important right now with this global pandemic. The GX smartwatch comes with exclusive design and premium quality material with 4 color variants that will help you suit up with any fashion wear that you prefer. It's water resistant and dust resistant and comes with 7 faces events, which includes meetings, weddings, reunions, and many others. And it's equipped with latest health monitor functions, which will always help you to be on the safe and healthy side of life. And this is the perfect smartwatch for entrepreneurs who always love innovation and always love to be cool and classy. You can check the link in the description for more information. So now the monetization part is done. Let's dive into our today's episode. So what do you think? Which 5 things you need to work on as a business? I think most of you would have got at least 3 of the things right. And if it was more or less, then don't worry. I'm going to show you them anyways because that's why I'm recording this episode, right? So the first and the most important thing to know before starting or while running a business is to know what is your market. Not the one which is on the side of the road. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your target market. Which market are you going to serve? Is it going to be the electronic appliance market, the smartphones market, clothing and accessories, or any other market? And if your product is unique and innovative, then first see if there is an existing market for your product or not. Just like I mentioned the GX smartwatch, their market is the watch market, and to get deep dive into it, they'll choose the smartwatch market specifically. So just like that, see what market are you going to serve and is there an existing market for your product. If it is, well and good, and if not, then you'll have to build a market for it, which is a difficult thing, and I'll cover it in a very different episode. So do your market research thoroughly and make sure you don't miss out on the important parts of your marketing research like audience size and customer size, average pricing of the products in your market, business requirements of your product in your market, and etc. You can take any examples and any questions that you like. Market research is very important to know what market you are going to serve and with whom are you going to compete with, because market competition and market size will enable you to ensure you earn maximum profits and beat your competitors. So now, after knowing your market, you need to start finding out who your target customer or your target client is. Some people just want to serve everyone and just want to provide goods to everyone. They say everyone is my customer, like they are selling some ice cream near the beach side. Nope, that's not how business works. You need to get deep dive into the process of knowing your audience and understanding them. For example, you can say the target audience for a girl's crop top seller would be young girls. If it's too much fashionable, then it would be for the girls who have just graduated or somewhere around that age. Must be average heighted with a slim body and so on. You can describe how she looks. And if it's any product that gives someone benefit like the GX smartwatch, it would be for someone who has that buying power because it's a bit expensive, who's an outgoing person because it comes with 7 faces to match multiple events, who's health conscious because it has health monitoring functions, and it's unisex, so it's both for men and women, but it's more for the younger audience. If you want to know more about understanding your target audience, then I would suggest you to listen to our last week's episode where I have talked detail about targeting your customers and how you can market them by understanding them and their behavior. Now you know your target market and your target customers and clients. Now let's talk about things that are internal aspects of your business. One of which is management, of course. Starting a business is easy, but while running it successfully, you need a good management team. And here, you also need to ask yourself, are you going to do it yourself or become a solopreneur, or you want to find a co-founder and the right partner to run it with ease? If not a co-founder, then you need some staff to handle the customers, the accounts, the cash counter, and all the other things. If it's not a store or something where you need more people, then you can hire just a single person to give you a helping hand. You'll also need to see if the person you are hiring or making the co-founder has the necessary skills and the expertise that you need to run the business successfully. If your management is well trained and is responsible enough, then there are higher chances of your business to become successful, which means more revenue, more customers, and more or less the profits. So now that you have decided about your management, you'll have to figure out your business capital and its finance, which is very much important. The capital investment will depend on market you are entering, who's your customer, how much inventory you will have, how much capability do you have for selling those products, where is your store, like the location of it, and many other basic things that you need to ask first. According to this, you'll have to figure out how much capital are you going to invest in your business. If you have a co-founder, then figure out the stake part and see how much they are willing to invest and how much part of the company are they asking for. Money is often the number one reason most businesses fail. So you should ask yourself the following questions. How much do you need and why? Why do you need it and what do you need it for? Where can you get that money from? Can you lower your capital needs without certain things harming your ability to start your business and to run it successfully? And then with this, you can start handling your finance by maintaining proper accounts of each and every transaction and by reducing the amount of money spent on miscellaneous expenses and other expenses that don't give you much returns. So the last thing, which is the location and the facility that you will operate your business on. Location plays a very important role because you can sell a high ticket product in a low ticket market or vice versa. And the layout of your store, the beauty and the presence around it is actually what matters a lot. If your store doesn't give that vibe, your customers won't buy from you, to be honest. Location, you'll have to select according to your own requirements. And if you want to start a business outside your own state, then you'll have to look at the taxation policy and the taxes of that particular state. Also, the rental property agreements and prices and taxes for that too. Any special government programs or so that can help your business. And with property, you need to figure out that if you are going to own the place and run your business or just buy it from someone and take it on rent or on mortgage. If it's something that you are doing digitally, then you will have to buy a space, or will you work in a co-working space, or you will work remotely from your home. You have to figure all these things out. By figuring these things out, you'll know how exactly you'll start and run your business, right from knowing your target market and customers to managing the operations, finance, and also the resources around and within. Some listeners would say this is so basic, but trust me, people really mess things up in this one. And if you have listened to our Targeting Your Customers episode, you will know how hard and difficult it is to get this information and run a business successfully. You'll have to do so much research about your market, your customers, making a buyer's persona, using the marketing tools and techniques to get more customers, making a business plan, operating within the business, finding a co-founder, hiring the right people and all the stuff. People really fail in these things because it just seems easy, but it isn't. We have made episodes previously which will help you to understand all that I have talked in this episode: making a business model, getting your capital and fundraising, how to hire employees, how to kill the competition, how to market your business and your customers, how to get more clients and more customers, eventually giving you more attention, how to expand your business. Behind the Brains is the perfect place to find answers of all of these issues, and I have covered this in a previous episode, and the list that I gave you are the names of the episodes that I have recorded already. So if you like our today's episode, then share it with your friends and colleagues so that it can help them out too. And don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcast and IMDb. We have made it simple for you to interact with us and answer your questions. You can just join my Reddit community and ask for any business related questions and queries, and other businessmen and my podcast listeners will help you out with it. Like I said, it's a perfect place to find solutions for your problems. So why not consider subscribing Behind the Brains podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube. And yeah, also follow us on Instagram and Twitter because that's most important. So with that being said, let's end this podcast episode right here. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something valuable. I am Dhawal Kawatra, your host and founder of this podcast. See you in the next episode. Until then, keep listening, keep hustling. And yeah, that's a good and catchy tagline for my podcast. I know it's too good, so keep your applause. Jokes apart, I'll see you later.